Hello, I'm Camelia and this is KiniNews. Tiong has told Wan Saiful to focus on his own image. This was over Wan Saiful's remarks that it was wrong for the minister to be drunk in public. Tourism, Arts and Culture Minister Tiong has told Bersatu lawmaker Wan Saiful Wan Jan to focus on his own corruption case rather than meddle with the affairs of others. Tiong also threatened to take legal action against Wan Saiful if he continued to condemn him for drinking alcohol. He said this in response to Wan Saiful's remarks in Parliament yesterday that it was wrong for the minister to be drunk in public. This was in response to videos of the minister drinking and dancing at an event in Pelangai, Pahang last month. In a video posted on Facebook today, Tiong said it was Wan Saiful who has a bad public image right now.
Saya minum, saya menari. Apa saya punya image sebagai menteri tidak bagus? Pergi tengoklah rakyat komen macam mana. You sekarang kena tuduh sebagai rasuah. You punya parti hari-hari cerita orang rasuah. Tetapi akhir sekali kamu sendiri punya parti banyak orang rasuah. Jagalah you punya parti image dulu. Terutama sekali you sendiri punya image.
Tiong also challenged Wan Saiful to prove that he was drunk in that video. The minister explained that he acted that way during the events because he was playing with children as part of the Mid-Autumn Festival celebrations in Pelangai, Pahang. Tiong added that if he can respect Islam and its culture, then Wan Saiful should also respect non-Muslims and their culture. Hamzah has stressed that Bersatu MPs backs Muhyiddin as president of the party and will resist external attempts to divide the party through renegade MPs that have pledged to support Anwar. Bersatu MPs have reaffirmed their support for the leadership of party president Muhyiddin Yassin. This came after Kuala Kangsar MP Iskandar Dzulkarnain Abdul Khalid and Labuan MP Suhaili Rahman had voiced their support for Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim. In a statement today, Bersatu's Secretary General Hamzah Zainudin said any attempts by outside parties to divide party unity through the actions of the Kuala Kangsar and Labuan MPs will not succeed. He said Bersatu is very committed in its efforts to empower the Perikatan National Coalition, which has received the mandates and support from the people in the last general and state elections. Therefore, he said Bersatu will not compromise with any disciplinary misconduct among members, especially involving MPs and assembly persons. He said that Bersatu's Supreme Council had decided that the respective state bodies would assume the management of the Kuala Kangsar and Labuan divisions pending a decision made by the disciplinary board against both men, who are also the division heads. Hamzah added that Bersatu Vice President Muhammad Razi Jidin has also been appointed as head of the Federal Territories leadership effective immediately, replacing Suhaili. On October 30th, Suhaili voiced support for Anwar's premiership, citing the rising cost of living in his constituency. Iskandar had voiced support for Anwar's premiership on October 12th. Bersatu's leadership has issued a show-cause letter to Iskandar. Najib is undergoing quarantine at HKL after testing positive for COVID-19. His aide said Najib had been taken to the hospital after experiencing a fever. Former Prime Minister Najib Abdul has been admitted to the Kuala Lumpur General Hospital after he tested positive for COVID-19. In a statement, his aide, Muhammad Mukhlis Maghribi, said Najib was taken to the hospital after experiencing a fever. He added that Najib was in stable condition and undergoing quarantine. On behalf of Najib's family, he also extended appreciation to the Kajang prison and HKL for their prompt response in assuring Najib received treatment. Najib is serving a 12-year jail sentence at the Kajang prison. He was found guilty of corruption, criminal breach of trust and money laundering involving 42 million ringgit from state-owned SRC International Sendirian Berhad. The court has ordered Ramazami to pay over 1 million ringgit in damages to Zakir Naik. The court this morning allowed the two civil actions by Zakir against Ramazami. The Kuala Lumpur High Court has ordered former Penang Deputy Chief Minister 2 P. Ramazami to pay over 1 million ringgit in defamation damages to Islamic preacher Dr. Zakir Naik. This followed Judge Hayatul Akmal Abdul Aziz's decision in allowing two suits by Zakir. During open court proceedings today, Hayatul ruled that all three elements of defamation have been proven by Zakir for the 5 public statements made by Ramazami. The judge added that Ramazami failed to show that he was entitled to the defense of justification and fair comment. The judge ordered Ramazami to pay the amount to Zakir within 30 days from today and also ordered for him to make a public apology to Zakir. In 2019, Zakir filed 2 separate suits against Ramazami over the latter's public statements. The first statement was linked to the preacher's ceramah at Kota Baru, Kelantan on August 8, 2019, and the second is in relation to the 2019 mass arrests linked to the alleged attempts to revive the defunct militant group Liberation Tamil Tigers of Ilam. Ramazami's counsel Razlan Hadri informed the court that they would file an application to stay the need for the defendant to apologize to Zakir pending their appeal to the Court of Appeal. LFL has called on the government to withdraw the proposed amendments on the granting of citizenships under the federal constitution. Lawyers for Liberty has slammed Home Minister Saifuddin Nasution Ismail's defense of the proposed constitutional amendments on citizenship. LFL Director Zaid Malik said in doing so, Saifuddin is ignoring the plight of the stateless and instead framing it as a security issue due to the country purportedly facing problems involving migrants and others. In a statement today, he said it is appalling that Saifuddin is obstinately defending the proposed amendments. He pointed out that this shows a total lack of understanding by the Home Minister and at worst, a deliberate misrepresentation of the issue of statelessness in the country. He added that those who are stateless deserve citizenship by operation of law as per the Constitution, but remain in the predicament due to the oversight and failure of the National Registration Department and the Home Ministry to correctly administer the law. He was responding to the remark by Saifuddin in Parliament yesterday, defending the proposal to table 8 proposals to amend relevant provisions related to granting of citizenships under the federal constitution. Saifuddin said the 8 includes a sensitive proposal that pertains to granting citizenship to stateless children and foundlings, an infant abandoned by its parents and is discovered and cared for by others. Mavcom has announced that they have suspended My Airlines' air service license. This was as the representations made by the airline to a show cause letter were not satisfactory. The Malaysian Aviation Commission, Mavcom, has suspended the air service license of My Airlines Sendirian Berhad. In a statement today, the Commission said the suspension was made pursuant to Section 43(1) of the Malaysian Aviation Commission Act 2015. They added that it would safeguard the interests of passengers and employees affected by My Airlines' suspension of operations, as well as taking into consideration the challenges faced by the aviation industry post-COVID-19 pandemic. In a statement today, Mavcom said it had issued My Airline a show cause letter on October 13th, ordering the airline to provide its written representation within 14 days. It added that the show cause letter, among others, highlighted My Airline's failure to comply with its ASL conditions and the sudden suspension of operations on October 12th. Mavcom Executive Chairperson Saripuddin Kasim said they received My Airline's written representation on October 27th and after it decided to suspend their ASL as the representations made by the airline were not satisfactory. According to Saripuddin, although the revocation of My Airline's ASL was highly considered, the potential implication of that could result in halting efforts in initiating refund payments to the affected passengers. Saripuddin added that My Airline is liable to refund its affected passengers as per the Malaysian Aviation Consumer Protection Code 2016, even though its ASL has been suspended. He said Mavcom will continue to engage with Bank Negara Malaysia in finding possible avenues of recourse for affected passengers to obtain refunds for unfulfilled flight bookings. And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to KiniTv.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. If you would like to support independent media, do consider subscribing to MalaysiaKini.com. I'm Kimilia. Thanks for watching.